Hey, okay, so I hope this goes through because I've been trying to make this video for a while now. Okay, so I want to share something that has really helped me during my walk with God, right? And hearing his voice, right? And trusting his voice. And literally, it's searching for evidence of his goodness, right? Searching for the evidence that he is good, right? And trusting that. Because I think um, cognitive distortion, I gotta throw some mental health in there, right? Um, Cognitive distortions can they really show us that you can have the right message with the wrong perception, and that changes everything, right? It changes everything, right? So God was telling me about false prophets, right? And I know we listen to a lot of prophetic word. Well, I do, and even sermons and stuff like that, where it could be a pastor speaking, but it could be filtered from the enemy, right? And it's literally what God showed me was a wolf in sheep's clothing was like like a person behind a waterfall, right? Where the right message is behind there, right? The truth is behind there, but the water is like distorting the message, right? Where we, based on our perception, it can distort the message, right? And it could be because unclean spirits, right? We have ulterior motives, ulterior desires, which is completely normal. But being conscious of that, to help you in hearing his voice, right? Because of ulterior desires, right? Because of mistrust, not trusting God, right? Fear, anxiety, right? If we're feeling anxious about a promise or something that God has told us, right? Hearing a word, one word, we might think that God means now, right? And feel anxious about it and then get disappointed when it doesn't happen, right? And now we're on this emotional roller coaster, not trusting God, getting upset, blah, 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 right? There's a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? It's not the prophet, it's not the pastor, it's not the message, it's not the sermon. It's us, right? Sometimes. And that happens to a good message, right? For me, that has happened to a good message where I'm like going on these emotional roller coasters with God because I got the message, but it was the wrong time. Or I got the message and it was for me, right? But it was like it was for another reason, like another part of my life, right? Or it wasn't for me, right? But I just wanted it to be for me because I had ulterior motives or ulterior desires, right? So just being mindful of these things when we are listening for God's voice, right? Also trauma and mistrust can cause us to have the wrong perspective of the message that God's trying to give us, right? We can be getting blessings and not getting blessings, if you know what I mean, right? Receiving blessings and not receiving blessings, and feeling cursed, right? And because of self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever you perceive is how you're going to respond. A lot of us are already blessed, right? Everybody is blessed to some capacity or some level, right? Everybody is walking in purpose at some level in their life, right? However, based on how you perceive it is whether you receive it or not, right? And God will always lead us and send messages to guide us and whatever, but it's up to us to try to learn the process of your relationship with God, trusting Him, getting to know who He is, His character, and following up with that in our life, right? In our actual day-to-day life. Like, God is life. So how we respond to life is how we're responding to God, essentially, right? That's why when the people in the wilderness were complaining, God saw the complaint in their heart. And that was something pertaining to life. They were stuck in the wilderness with no food, right? But because their response to life in that time was so negative, it was pertaining to God. Your God took us out to this wilderness, and now we stuck in here, right? A lot of our responses to life is really you complaining to God and showing that. That's one way to check yourself. Like when you're complaining about life, talk to God about it. Tell God to His face, okay? When you have a complaint. So yeah, right message, wrong perspective. It can be our trauma. And I'll give you an example of a blessing that I feel like is a blessing, like living in a shared space with someone. If you perceive it as a blessing, you will receive it and, save money. You will seek out opportunities. What can I do with this, right? Why has God placed me here? What is good about this, God? Because you said all things work for the good. So I could save money. I could be a blessing to the person I live with. I can allow this person that I live with to be a blessing for me, right? But if I have an attitude, right, and perceive the situation as a curse, I will respond to the situation as a curse, right? I will see everything the person that is doing, that I'm living with, as a problem, right? I will catch all their human nature flaws and see it as a personal attack against me and my life, right? Even things that they're doing out of the kindness of their heart, right? And twist it and think that it's evil because of maybe trauma, because I've never experienced someone kind and nice, right? So I feel uncomfortable, right? Or admit I don't trust it. And wind up moving from place to place and wasting money because I'm putting a security deposit down, right? So you're living a cursed life because you perceive situations as a curse, right? Your actions are following up as a curse, right? When you are actually blessed, right? So I just wanted to share that message. I hope that blesses somebody. And set your expectations. Seek out, instead of seeking out curses and problems, right? Seek out evidence for God's goodness. And trust that. Trust that and know that even if I'm trusting something that as a blessing and receiving as a blessing when it's actually trying to harm me, God's going to protect me anyway. So where's your protection in this, God? Where's your redemption? You said, humble myself and you will exalt me. So if I'm harmed in this situation, you're going to exalt me in the next situation. So I'm going to perceive everything as a blessing. I'm looking out for your goodness. Where's your goodness in this, God? Where's the evidence of your goodness in any and every situation, right? I hope that blesses y'all because it blesses me. Amen. Amen. Love you guys. Be blessed. Bye.